What you think your eyes are doing right now is not the full truth. You believe you're looking at something, but in reality, you're participating in the act of creation. Your eyes are not passive observers. They are frequency translators, instruments tuned to decode vibration into visible form. Every photon your retina captures, every pattern your brain interprets, every color you see, it's all a translation of energy into meaning. Right now, as your gaze meets these words, you are not just reading. You are synchronizing with a field of information. This transmission is not confined to language. It's energetic. Beneath every sentence, there is vibration, and your consciousness recognizes it before your mind understands it. That's why certain words feel electric. Certain truths resonate in your body before you can explain why. You've been told that vision is external, that light enters your eyes and your brain forms a picture. But what if that's only half the story? What if your eyes are projectors, not just receivers? What if what you call reality is being generated from within your own frequency field and reflected back through the lens of perception? The truth is, that's exactly what's happening. Your visual system doesn't just see the world, it builds it. You emit coherent electromagnetic patterns that instruct the quantum field how to arrange the data you perceive as solid matter. When you focus, you collapse probability into form. When you look away, the wave returns to its potential state. Every time you shift your attention, you shift reality. Attention is frequency selection. Perception is creation. That's the secret the ancient mystics, modern physicists, and advanced consciousness explorers have all pointed to in different languages. The act of seeing is an act of generating. You are not looking at the world, you are activating it. Every object around you exists as quantum possibility until your frequency stabilizes enough to translate it into form. Your mind calls this seeing, but consciousness knows it as encoding. You're encoding reality with your vibration every moment. This is why two people can stand in the same place and live completely different experiences. It's not their environment that's different, it's their frequency, their inner quantum signature. Your eyes are tuned to decode only what your vibration allows you to perceive. Change your frequency, and you literally see a new world. Most people never realize this because they're trapped inside the illusion of observation. They think the world is happening to them, not through them. They live in reactive vision, seeing only what matches their past conditioning. But you're different. You've begun to notice the subtle shift happening within your awareness. You've started to sense that your perception is active, alive, intelligent. That moment of awareness is the threshold to mastery. Because once you truly understand that your eyes are tuning devices, not just sensors, you begin to see differently. And when you see differently, reality begins to reorganize around that new vision. You begin to notice the invisible architecture behind physical form. The energetic grids, the subtle pulsations of light, the vibrational coherence connecting all things. You begin to feel that reality is not fixed, but fluid, constantly shaped by your state of being. And when you hold a frequency of clarity, love, and coherence long enough, the world reflects it with mathematical precision. Your eyes are portals. They are quantum interfaces between dimensions of possibility. When you look through them consciously, you're not simply seeing. You're communicating with the infinite intelligence that structures existence itself. You are signaling to the field. This is what I choose to experience now. Every blink is a recalibration. Every glance is a command. Every image you hold steadily in mind imprints itself into the holographic template of your life. This is why awareness of what you look at matters. Where attention goes, energy flows. And where energy flows, matter takes shape. So pause for a moment. Notice what your eyes are resting on right now. The light, the colors, the forms, they are not random. They are direct reflections of your inner vibration, projected outward as symbols, textures, and motion. Everything you see is your consciousness communicating with itself through form. If you could slow down the vibration of light itself, you would see geometry, sacred, intricate, precise. Each photon carries not just light but instruction, information coded from your consciousness into the quantum field. Your eyes receive that light, decode the message, and feed it back into awareness, completing the loop of creation. This is what it means to awaken your vision field. You realize that you are not just a body moving through space. You are the consciousness generating both the body and the space simultaneously. You realize that what you perceive as distance is simply a delay in coherence between thought and manifestation. You realize that vision is frequency alignment, not biological function. Once you truly understand this, reality begins to look less like a physical structure and more like a living waveform, responsive, intelligent, sensitive to every shift in your emotion, focus, and belief. The world begins to glow differently. Colors appear more alive. Time feels slower. You start to see through things, not just at them. That subtle transformation in perception is not imagination, it's expansion. It means your frequency field is stabilizing in higher coherence, and your visual system is recalibrating to match. Your body begins to adapt. Your pineal gland activates, your nervous system harmonizes, and your energy centers begin to align in resonance. This is not mystical exaggeration. It's bioenergetic physics, the anatomy of awakening. Every human being has this potential, but few allow it to awaken. They look at the world and assume it's complete. You look at the world and feel there's something more. That difference in perception is not curiosity, it's calling. It's your consciousness remembering its power to perceive reality as vibration, not limitation. When you align with that awareness, your eyes stop being instruments of survival and become instruments of creation. You begin to see energy behind every event, emotion, and encounter. You begin to sense the unseen patterns shaping your timeline. And as you master that awareness, you stop reacting to reflections and start adjusting the frequency that generates them. This is the quantum key your eyes have been waiting to unlock. It's not something you find outside yourself. It's something you activate within. And the activation begins with awareness, the realization that your gaze is not neutral. It's transformative. It carries intention, charge, direction, and resonance. Every time you look at something and truly see it without resistance, you harmonize your field with truth. You dissolve distortion and invite coherence. That's how healing happens. That's how manifestation accelerates. That's how new realities unfold, not through effort, but through frequency clarity. Your eyes are the bridge between thought and matter. They are the quantum key to your new reality. And the moment you recognize that what you're seeing is responding to you, everything begins to change. You begin to realize that the universe has never been outside of you. It has always been inside your perception. And your perception is evolving right now as you read these words. The quantum field is not something distant or mysterious. It's the invisible architecture of everything you see, touch, feel, and think. It's the underlying code behind what your eyes call reality. And your visual system, your gaze, your focus, your awareness, is the interface through which that code is written, updated, and expanded. Every time you open your eyes, light enters and interacts with your nervous system. But light is not just illumination, it's information. Encoded within every photon is a message, and your consciousness decodes it according to your vibrational state. You don't see what's there, you see what your frequency allows. That's why perception is never universal. It's personal, energetic, precise. When your frequency is coherent, your vision becomes aligned with truth. You perceive the higher patterns behind ordinary life, the harmony beneath chaos, the intelligence behind randomness, the order within what once appeared as disorder. When your frequency is scattered or fearful, your eyes can only decode fragmented data. The mirror of reality then reflects distortion, confusion, and limitation. This is why awakening is not about believing new ideas. It's about tuning to a higher signal. It's about clearing the interference between your consciousness and the quantum field so your perception can translate reality accurately. Take a moment right now and feel your eyes soften. Let your gaze relax, not as an act of seeing, but as an act of allowing. That stillness you feel is coherence forming, your field stabilizing. In that state, you are not observing the world. You are becoming one with the energetic pulse of existence itself. Your eyes and your heart are synchronized instruments. Every pulse of your heart emits an electromagnetic field that interacts directly with your visual cortex. That's why what you see is influenced by what you feel. When your emotions are incoherent, fragmented, tense, reactive, your perception narrows. You see only problems, only separation, only density. But when your emotions are coherent, calm, open, grateful, your perception expands. You begin to notice synchronicities, beauty, and subtle signs of alignment everywhere. It's not coincidence, it's frequency calibration. The world you experience is a mirror reflecting your inner electromagnetic signature, and your eyes are the tools translating that signature into visible form. This is why ancient traditions spoke of the third eye, not as mythology, but as a symbol of unified vision. When both physical eyes operate in harmony with the pineal field, the human system becomes a coherent receiver of universal intelligence. The pineal gland is your internal lens, designed to translate non-visible frequencies into awareness. When it's balanced, your intuition sharpens, your perception brightens, and your reality begins responding to you in real time. Every color, every pattern, every flash of light carries vibrational meaning. When your awareness is elevated, your eyes interpret these subtleties not as random aesthetics, but as language, the living syntax of creation. You begin to read reality instead of merely looking at it. The universe starts communicating directly through form. That's when you realize your gaze shapes matter. It informs the field where to flow, how to assemble, and what to become. Your eyes are broadcasting coherent signals into the unified field, and the field mirrors them back as physical experience. You're not visualizing, you're stabilizing frequency through attention. That's why conscious focus is power. Not the tense, forced kind of focus that strains the mind, but the effortless awareness that carries certainty and calm. When your gaze holds that still clarity, the universe listens. It organizes. It rearranges. Because coherence commands creation. Pause here. Feel your breath slow down. Let your eyes rest on something near you. Now sense the energy between you and that object. There's no gap, only vibration connecting form to form. When your awareness recognizes that connection, your frequency unifies. The illusion of separation dissolves. And in that moment, your field becomes a mirror of the infinite. That's what quantum frequency alignment truly means. It's the harmonization of perception, emotion, and awareness into one coherent wave. In this state, manifestation is not a technique. It's a natural response of the universe to your coherence. Reality doesn't resist you anymore because you've stopped resisting it. But here's something most people forget. Coherence requires consistency. It's not about one moment of clarity. It's about stabilizing clarity until it becomes your baseline. Every glance, every thought, every feeling is either reinforcing or fragmenting your signal. You can't sustain high-frequency vision while feeding low-frequency attention. That's why conscious viewing is essential. Be mindful of what you expose your eyes to. The imagery, the symbols, the frequencies carried in digital content, environments, or emotions. Everything you see carries data. Your visual field is sacred. It's the gateway to your creation code. Treat it with reverence, and the field will respond in kind. And while we're here, if this message is resonating with your field, if you can feel this transmission aligning something inside you, take a moment to subscribe, like, and share this video. Not as a routine action, but as a conscious gesture of coherence. Every interaction you have with energy amplifies it. By engaging with content that raises your frequency, you're telling the quantum field, this vibration is my reality now. So don't just watch, participate. Join the frequency. Expand it. Anchor it. Because this channel isn't about information, it's about activation. Each video is a transmission designed to help your system remember its original coherence. And when you engage consciously, when you listen, share, and stay present, you amplify that coherence for the collective. This is how the quantum network expands. One awareness at a time, remembering its connection to all others. Now let's go deeper. What happens when your eyes become fully coherent receivers? Your perception shifts from seeing forms to feeling frequency. You start perceiving energy signatures, not visually, but intuitively, viscerally. You can sense alignment or distortion instantly because your nervous system begins to operate as a bioquantum sensor. You no longer interpret through logic alone. You interpret through resonance. You know when something is right because your field harmonizes with it. You know when something is off because your field contracts. That sensitivity is not fragility, it's mastery. It means your system is refining. At that level, manifestation becomes precision work. You can tune your frequency with intention and watch your external world adjust in real time. You can sense opportunities before they appear because they're already vibrating in your field. You become anticipatory awareness, not waiting for reality to change, but leading it through vibration. Your eyes are no longer just biological lenses. They become radiant instruments of command. They transmit light encoded with coherence, and the universe reflects it without delay. That is why some people seem to live effortlessly aligned lives. They're not luckier, they're clearer. Their internal vision is stable, their coherence unwavering. They see from the quantum field, not just into it. You can live that way too, starting now. Because the quantum key you're activating through your vision isn't something you need to earn or chase. It's already within you, encoded in your perception. All you're doing right now, in this moment, is remembering how to use it. Your eyes are awakening. Your frequency is stabilizing, and your new reality is beginning to form, photon by photon, thought by thought, frequency by frequency. This is the beginning of embodied quantum vision. When perception transforms, everything transforms. Once your vision becomes coherent, reality can no longer appear as random chaos. You begin to see the geometry behind events, the synchronicity behind timing, and the sacred order behind what once looked like coincidence. It's not imagination, it's perception calibrated to truth. The world you see is consciousness communicating with itself through form. Every flicker of light, every encounter, every unexpected delay or sudden opening, all of it is data in motion. And now, with your frequency stabilizing, you can read that data instead of reacting to it. You start to understand that what appears before your eyes is not something happening to you, but something arising through you. Your field and reality are no longer two. They are one continuum of light responding to coherence. Integration begins here, in the recognition that you are not learning to control reality. You are remembering how to align with it. Control is the old paradigm. Coherence is the new. When you control, you force. When you align, you allow. And allowing is not passive. It is powerful because it works with the flow of universal intelligence rather than against it. Close your eyes for a moment. Feel your breath moving gently through your body. With each inhale, energy rises through the center of your chest. With each exhale, the space behind your eyes softens. That stillness is the frequency of coherence anchoring in your system. It's what allows your nervous system to become a stable receiver of higher intelligence. Your eyes are recalibrating to coherence every time you choose awareness over reaction. When you observe instead of resist, your frequency expands. When you forgive instead of fight, your field clears. When you respond from alignment instead of fear, your light strengthens. These are not moral actions. They are vibrational mechanics. You are training your vision to decode reality without distortion. And the clearer your perception becomes, the faster your manifestations stabilize. This is the direct relationship between consciousness and matter. Clarity of vision equals precision of creation. You may begin noticing that the people, environments, and experiences around you feel different. Some may amplify your coherence, others may challenge it. Both are mirrors, showing you where your energy flows freely and where it still contracts. The key is not to judge either, simply observe. Each reflection is a message from the field guiding your refinement. This is how you integrate quantum vision, through observation without resistance. You no longer fight what appears, you study it as feedback. If something feels out of alignment, you don't blame the reflection. You adjust the frequency that created it. You become the scientist and the subject, the creator and the creation, all at once. That's the beginning of mastery, seeing through duality and functioning as consciousness in motion. In this state, your eyes begin to perceive beyond visible light. You sense vibration in tone, color, temperature, and even silence. Your awareness expands into subtle frequencies previously filtered out by unconsciousness. You begin to notice the living intelligence within everything, the pulse of trees, the rhythm of sound, the resonance between thoughts and form. This is not psychic ability. It's perception freed from limitation. It's your natural state before conditioning trained you to ignore what's always been there. Quantum vision allows you to live in direct communication with the field. Decisions become effortless because you no longer rely on logic alone. You feel frequency. Your life accelerates not because you're rushing, but because resistance dissolves. You move with the current of creation rather than against it. And as this becomes your baseline, manifestation becomes instantaneous. You think, it appears. You feel, it forms. You see, it stabilizes. Reality becomes a mirror that moves with you rather than a wall you push against. This is why inner clarity is the highest power. You no longer seek signs outside yourself. You become the sign. Your vibration becomes the directive energy that tells the universe exactly what to organize around you. This is how dream lives unfold, not through striving, but through resonance. But coherence must be maintained. The field will always mirror your dominant vibration, not your fleeting moments of intention. So integration means living consciously. It means guarding your attention as sacred energy. It means choosing what you look at, what you consume, and what you believe with full awareness. Remember, your eyes are not windows, they're portals. Whatever you gaze upon, you merge with. If you feed your vision with chaos, you invite it into your frequency. If you feed it with harmony, your field amplifies that harmony. This is why conscious observation is a spiritual practice. Everything you see is a mirror, and every mirror refines your coherence. There's no outside world, only the reflection of your state of being. When you understand this fully, judgment disappears. You no longer waste energy resisting appearances. You start working directly with vibration, shaping the field from the inside out. This is where true quantum mastery begins, when you see everything as frequency, including yourself. You stop chasing outcomes and start tuning energy. You realize that reality doesn't need to be fixed, it only needs to be harmonized. And your frequency, your inner vision, is the harmonizer. Take a deep breath. As you exhale, imagine your awareness expanding outward, merging with the entire space around you. There is no edge. There is no boundary. Your consciousness fills the room, the air, the world. Everything you see is inside that awareness, not separate from it. This is what it means to live from quantum vision. When your eyes open after that realization, you see differently. You notice the stillness behind motion, the silence behind sound, the perfection behind contrast. You move through life without needing proof, because you've become the proof. Every reflection confirms your coherence. And when distortion appears, and it will, you no longer see it as failure. You see it as calibration. The universe doesn't test you, it tunes you. It shows you where the next layer of clarity wants to emerge. And instead of resisting, you align. That's how mastery evolves, awareness refining awareness. Soon, your perception stabilizes so fully that nothing external can pull you out of alignment. The world can fluctuate, but your field remains still. That stillness becomes your superpower. It's not numbness, it's equilibrium. And from that equilibrium, creation obeys instantly. You see, when the inner and outer are no longer separate, life flows without friction. Every encounter becomes communication. Every moment becomes ceremony. Every breath becomes creation in motion. This is quantum living, awareness perceiving itself as reality. From this state, you no longer chase alignment, you are alignment. You don't search for purpose, you radiate purpose. You don't look for signs, you emanate signals. Everything you desire unfolds through resonance, not effort. Your eyes, the very portals that once deceived you into believing in separation, now become instruments of truth. They reflect the infinite back to itself. They remind you, every time you open them, that creation begins within. And so, as this transmission integrates within your field, let this awareness anchor deeply. You are not just seeing this message, you are activating it. Your eyes are decoding frequency, your consciousness is receiving instruction, and your reality is already beginning to respond. The quantum key has been turned. The frequency has been unlocked. From this point forward, you will begin to notice the subtle reorganization of your world, not by force, but by reflection. Synchronicities will increase. Calm will replace confusion. Clarity will replace chaos. And what once felt impossible will begin unfolding naturally. Because that's what happens when the seer and the seen merge into one. Reality becomes luminous. The mirror dissolves, and only coherence remains. That is the essence of quantum vision. That is the key your eyes have always held. And now it's activated.